Swami Vidyanand says in Panchdashi 7, 184, 185, Ananya Yagyvalkade Acharyatvam Sambhavet Dvait Dishtav Avidvatta Dvait Adishtovnu Bhagvadet. If non-duality were not accepted, it is not possible for Yagyavalkya and others to be teachers. If one sees duality, he has no knowledge, and without recognition of duality, he cannot teach. Nirvikalp samadho tu dvaita darshan hetuta sev aporoks vidyati chet susupti tathanakim. Question arises that if one attains direct knowledge in Nirvikalp Samadhi due to the absence of duality, why would it not be the same in deep sleep? Verse 7, 186, 187 says, Attatvam na janati supto yadi tadatoya atmadhire vidyati vachyam notre vismrita. In the state of deep sleep, there is no knowledge of the self. Then it is admitted that not merely absence of duality, but knowledge of the self, that really matters. Ubhiyam miltam vidya, yadi tarhi ghatadya, ardha vidya bhajina syu, sakal dvaita vismrite. True knowledge requires both knowledge of the self and non-experience of duality. It cannot be. The inanimate objects like pots, which do not experience duality, are half enlightened. Verse 7, 188, 189 says, Mask dhvani mukhanam vikshepanam bhautata tattva vidya tathanasya ghatadinam ythadidha. In that case, one's knowledge, subject to many distractions, like the buzzing of mosquitoes, is not as strong as the knowledge of pots etc., which are not subject to such distractions due to not experiencing duality. Atmadhire vidyati yadi tarhi sukhi bhava dusya chittam vruddhya chet ninundhi tvam yatha sukham. If, however, one admits that the knowledge of the self alone constitutes realization, then he has accepted our position. Again, if he says that the troubling mind is to be controlled for realization, then he may be left with all the wishes to control the mind. Verse 7, 190, 191 says, Tad istam istavya maya mayatas samikshnat ikstam api agyavachet kim ichhaniti hi sutam. Although control of the mind is essential for identification of the illusory character of the world, yet desires of the wise man are not binding as the desires of an ignorant one. This is the drift of Shruti text quoted in the beginning. Desiring what should a wise man allow himself to be afflicted? Rago lingam bodhasya santu rag advoyo budhe iti shastra advoyam sartham evam satya avirodhta. There is therefore no contradiction between the two statements in the scriptures that desires are a sign of ignorance and that the wise man may have desires, because the desires of a wise man are too weak to bind. With reference to Acharya Sureshwara, attachment or addiction to desires is objected to, but semblance of desire is allowed. In Neskarm Siddhi 467 he says, Rago lingam bodhasya chitte vyayam bhumisu kuta swadalta tasya yasyagni kotretaro. A strong attachment to worldly objects is the sign of ignorance alone. How is it possible for a tree to be green if there is fire in its core cavity? And in Brihadaranyaka Vartika 141539 he says, a proper understanding of the real drift of the scriptures accompanied by the necessary practices is enough to secure liberation. It does not matter if desires etc. remain, their presence will do no harm. Verse 7, 192 says, Jagannamithatva Vatso Atma Asangatvasya Samikshanat Kasya Kama Yeti Vacha Bhokra Bhav Vivaksya. Since he is convinced of the associationlessness of the self and illusoriness of the world, the knower has no idea of himself as a doer or enjoyer. Hence the verse quoted in the beginning, for whom should he desire, applies to him.